event this weekend. I'm joined with Craig Excellent. He's with me right now. What's going on, Craig?
Not much, man. How are you? Sorry I'm a few minutes late. Was out gallivanting in the holiday spirit.
It's understandable. It's understandable. But nonetheless, thank you so much for joining me this evening. And as we promote this big show coming up for Comeback Zone Wrestling Cage of Death, a couple of weeks ago, I interviewed Alexander James, and he talked about his match and what he's got going on. And let's talk about your involvement of this event. Why don't you go ahead and talk about the match that you have scheduled for this event?
Well, back in November, at Night of Infamy, another big show at CZW, I was squaring off against the Bulldozer Matt Tremont. Matt is at the root of it, just a hellacious competitor. He's endeared to the fans because they know how hard he works and what he's willing to put his body through to appease our fan base. So we're pitted against each other, and just a little backstory, story time. We're a little rambunctious on the floor, and we get counted out. And for a guy like myself, I've been in the Combat Zone for nearly 8 years. Matt, that's not exactly what we had in mind. So we asked for a little bit of leniency, and then we turned it up a notch. Got a little ultra violent, as CZW often does. At the end of the match, I was on the losing end of it, which happens from time to time. There's no shame in losing to a guy like Matt Tremont. So I laid down the challenge. It's Cage of Death. That's my time of year. I've never lost a match at Cage of Death. And it's the one night of the year that Mama Excellent dusts off her rolling pin and her favorite Cage of Death T-shirt, and she comes out to Voorhees, New Jersey. And I said I was going to be there. I knew Matt was going to be there. We needed something to do. There's great mutual respect between both of us. So why not give the fans something special? We're already going to see a spectacle that is the actual Cage of Death main event for the World Heavyweight Championship. But why not give them a little something extra, a little taste of something different? And so I laid down the challenge that Matt find himself a partner, and I will do just the same. Somebody sick, twisted, and a little bit crazy in the head, and that we honor a great man in the Norman Smiley Memorial Bunkhouse Brawl Donnybrook ultra-violent food fight of life and death. So if anybody knows anything about me and the limits I'm willing to push to, as well as Matt, and I'm telling you, the limits our mystery partners will probably push it to, it's going to be a spectacle that needs to be seen live.
Well, definitely looking forward to that for sure. And of course, for those who are unable to attend Cage of Death this Saturday, you can watch it on iPay-per-view. You can go to Combat Zone Wrestling's website for all the details, or even go to iPayPerView.com for all the details as well. Just make sure that when you watch this incredible event, you have some good connection. Don't be on that DSL or anything like that.
Oh yeah, you want to have some solid connections, good bandwidth. I mean, if you're you don't want that ultra violent action to be lagging.
Yeah.
So and you can go right to Stream CZW and pick up the stream Saturday night, 7:30 kickoff. It's going to be an amazing event. It's Cage of Death, and for all the detractors and naysayers, I like to think of myself as a guy who speaks for my Combat Zone brethren, and it is going to be balls to the wall. It's going to be high octane, high impact, and highly entertaining. And definitely, if you're not able to be in Voorhees live, a wrestling show is best seen live. Let me first say that. That is, at the root of it, at my heart. I am a wrestling fan first and foremost. But if you can't be there, it's understandable. We have a great following, a great fan base overseas, as well as throughout the United States. If you can't be there live, definitely check out Stream CZW. and give it a watch. And, get yourself some popcorn and some tasty treats, and enjoy a good 4 hours of great wrestling.
And one thing to point out, wrestling, like a lot of sports out there, they don't often take the holidays off. Okay, and so these wrestlers for CCW are gonna pour their heart out. They're gonna entertain. They're going to tear the roof off the building. So please check out Cage Up Death this weekend, whether you in person or watch it from your computer or laptop. And now put your wrestling fan side of things for a moment. Outside of your match, what is the other matches out there that you're looking forward to watching this coming Saturday?
Oh man, I mean, it's just in all reality, it's an incredibly stacked card. I mean, the main event is so very intriguing to me. I know all four of these competitors very well. I've been in the ring with all four of them. World class athletes, and when I speak of the main event cage of death match for the CCW World Heavyweight Championship, Sozio defending against Drew Gulak, Biff Busick, and Black Cheese. All four of these guys, like I said, world-class wrestlers. And it's going to be very interesting and intriguing for me at that point in the night. I'll be done. I will be out of my proverbial monkey suit and into something comfortable, and be able to watch four guys who aren't known for their ultra-violent background, but are going to lay it all on the line for the grandest prize in the company. And that's what's going to be intriguing. It's not exactly their element, but these guys are not afraid to go out there and get dirty, get bloody, get violent. And that's what's going to be intriguing to me. It's a great mix and dichotomy of styles. And the intangible is the cage. It is the fifth person in that match, whether people recognize that or not. The cage is very unforgiving. There are some, great dangers inside that cage, as well as not just what's inside and on the sides of the cage, but the other competitors that are in that match. So it's going to be. I'm very much looking forward to the main event. How about the CCW World Tag Team Championships? OI 4K. Whether you want to call them OI 4K, the Irish Airborne, Jake and Dave Crist defending against the American Wolf. And is there another tag team? Just traveling the countryside. I mean, as a wrestling fan, I look at classes in what I think of tag team wrestling, and I'm thinking, okay, you got guys like the Briscoes, you got guys like OI4K, and the American Wolves are absolutely right there at the top of their game. They're visitors coming in. That's how I look at it. If you're going to look at home field advantage, this is OI4K's house, and the American Wolves are coming in. Eddie Edwards and Davey Richards as the visiting team coming in, trying to knock off our champions and take the titles. And that's going to be, for your money, great tag team wrestling. I'm a tag team wrestling fan at heart. Man, there's so many. The return of Rich Swann. I've known Rich for years. That is going to be great. I mean, top to bottom, this card is really stacked. I mean, hopefully Chris Dickinson beats the ever-loving piss out of DJ Hyde. I mean, there's a lot of things for any wrestling fan. That's what I always say about CZW. We're the buffet line of professional wrestling. There is something for everybody on one of our shows, and I'm very much like there's I can't say there's one match I'm specifically looking forward to. Rich Swann, like I said, the return of Rich Swann wrestling the honorary CCW Junior Heavyweight Champion Alexander James. Alexander James, like it or not, coming into his own. And 2015 could be a very big year if he's able to knock off the world-traveled Rich Swann. That'll be big for his career. So, I mean, there's another one that's going to be, that could be the sleeper of the card that people don't expect a lot out of, and that one could steal the show if people aren't really giving it its due.
I talked to Alexander about that a few weeks ago, and he's very looking forward to it. And as you point out, he's definitely coming out of his own, evolving, if you will. And a match like this at an event this big, he's definitely looking to make a statement, and that could be that match under the card that maybe not much people are talking about now, but probably by the time that event is over, people are gonna look back and say, "Wow, that was incredible." So I mean, I can't fathom this enough. I just started to follow Combat Zone Wrestling, and I want to give a shout out to Nate Stein real quick because I first heard of CZW through him and check out their matches, and I'm hooked, man. I'm a fan. Now, I'm not. I may not come across as the biggest hardcore extreme wrestling fan, but I appreciate wrestling in general, whether it's hardcore, whether it's mainstream. I mean, it's all about the skill set. It's about the talent. It's about entertaining, regardless of what your character may be, regardless of what your gimmick may be. If you go in between those ropes and you perform the best of your ability, regardless of what type of wrestling it may be, I'm a be fan. And I also want to say that I had a chance to see the American Wolves wrestle in person. They when they were at Impact Wrestling, and their tag team chemistry is off the charts. I may consider them one of the best tag teams out right now, and it's just good to see that tag team wrestling. Is I feel like it's been on the decline for a while, but it's starting to come back because of the CCW and the Wolves, and I even put the Usos from WWE in the mix. It's just good to see that tag team wrestling starting to come back around, and I'm looking forward to see how much it can go into the new year. And speaking of the new year, um, exactly what do you want to see more of wrestling as far as maybe characters, maybe gimmicks, maybe storylines, or just developing talent as far as whether it's the big leagues, whether it's indies, like exactly what do you want to see more that's going to make wrestling evolve even further into the new year?
I want to see guys push the envelope and not be afraid. Ultimately, that's what I want. In wrestling nowadays, there's so many young. There's young guys who want it. I'm 32 years old. I'm not kidding myself at this point in my career. I really enjoy what I do. I love professional wrestling. It has saved my life. But nonetheless, I'm very realistic, and my goals are small. What I want to achieve, but as far as what I'd like to see, some of these young kids, are get into the business. They work their way up a little bit, and then they're worried about, well, they don't want to get too much heat on a show because they might not sell T-shirts, or don't want to push the envelope too much because then maybe these bigger companies might not want to take a chance on me because I might be too cutting edge, or I might be too mouthy, or this, that, and the other. I want to see these kids take a chance. I want to see people not so worried about the $15-$20 they're going to make on a T-shirt and what they could do to get a buzz about them. That'll help the business. That'll increase the business, and that'll separate the men from the boys as the guys who are willing to go out there and be a star, as opposed to a guy who's going out there and playing wrestler. As far as the coup de grace, the one company we're all watching is WWE. I would, I have friends that work there. I have friends at NXT. I personally, of course, I would love to see some of my friends move up quicker than that might be, the thought process in the business. But I definitely like the same thing. I want to see guys take a chance and be willing to push it. I mean, they have such an in-depth and extensive talent roster, but it seems like guys are just happy to be there, and that might be the case. I mean, some, I don't know this for a fact. Maybe some are just happy to get the paycheck and will remain flying under the radar. But there's such great talent there, and with a lot of guys, it'd be almost mismanagement of them themselves to not go out there and push it a little bit and see if they can't, see if they can't strike while they are in time. Really, jump on something. Who knows? Some of the best wrestling gimmicks and ideas that have ever happened have been by accident. Something happens and it sticks. I just I want to see people willing to go out there and make that chance. For me, I go out there and I push the envelope, and whether you like me or love me, I really love what I do. So I'm having fun, and my goal is to have help other people have fun. Um, and that's really what I want to see. I want to see guys push it a little bit further. Push themselves, push what they think might be acceptable, because they're worried about what somebody may say. And if it feels right, if you're going to amp it up, do it and do it well. That's what I want to say.
I definitely concur. I guess at this point, I guess it doesn't hurt if some talent out there, push the envelope. I mean, we haven't have anyone push the envelope since Punk gone, and maybe Dean Ambrose can fill that void if he hasn't already. Maybe Kevin Owens, who's making his debut in NXT, as we're doing this live broadcast right now, maybe he'll push that envelope. I know he's not hesitant to do that. I guess for me, what I want to see is, as far as WWE is concerned, is to continue to continue that momentum as far as NXT talent going into the main roster, from the Sami Zayns, from the Adrian Neville. I know for sure Kevin Owens will eventually get his opportunity, and just because it's a new generation of talent that's coming, and these veterans, they pretty much at the end of their careers. But luckily for WWE, they know what they're doing as far as developing talent and giving them the opportunities. You've seen the success of Daniel Bryan and Reigns and Rollins and Ambrose and the Riots and pretty much anyone else out there. It's become OVW esque as far as developing talent and just taking talent to a whole nother level. So I just want to see them continuing that momentum of talent that's moving up into the main roster, entering to next year, and pushing the envelope. I would like to see some of that too. I mean, enough with the PG stuff, man. Just take a chance. You took a chance at Punk, and
Well, I think you can push the envelope without breaking PG standards. I think you can fully envelop yourself and a connection with people without being profane or vulgar.
Mm-hmm.
It's more so like, again, I say that, guys are afraid to, I guess I get this feeling, and I don't know this for a fact because I don't work there, but I get this feeling that it's easier just to go with the flow and keep getting your paycheck rather than ruffle a few feathers, go out there and do you to the best of your ability, and maybe, just maybe, the crowd's going to bite on it. And if they bite on it, they can't ignore it forever. That's ultimately the goal. If you want to be a star, if you want to make the big dollars in this business, I've had, at seminars, people tell us, people with higher ranking people in WWE tell you the key to this business is putting an ass every 18 inches. So if the fans are buying what you're selling,
Mm-hmm.
and it might not be exactly what the company wanted to go with, they're going to have to, they can't ignore it forever. I think, the last person, the kid ignored Daniel Bryan forever. He made a connection with the fan base. The fan base bid on it, and now we got a star on our hands. We can either try and bury him, or we can make him the feel-good story of the last decade. And I think that can happen more. It can happen more frequently. They can't ignore you forever. If you're going to go out there and do it, fucking push yourself and do it to the best of your ability. Don't be half-assed and nonsense. Don't be happy where you are if you're not really happy where you are.
Well said, man. Well said. And why don't you go ahead and promote your social media links and let people know where they can learn more from you, your Twitter, Facebook, website, or any other links people need to know.
My Twitter handle is at Greg Excellent, all one word. My Facebook is under my regular human name. It is Greg Skipper. I'm on what am I thinking about? I'm on Instagram at Greg Excellent. I have a website. It is gregexcellent.net. I also promote and own another wrestling organization known as gbwrestling.com, a little smaller organization we run out of Pennsylvania, Southern Pennsylvania. And definitely check out czwrestling.com. My home, where my heart is the Combat Zone. I'm a CZW guy, and I believe in what we produce and the talent that is there. I believe in our guys, and there is some great talent that if you don't have the chance to be in Voorhees this Saturday or any second Saturday of the month, they check us out on Stream CZW and give us a whirl. We are an alternative to a lot of wrestling promotions. Like I said, with a buffet line of with a buffet line of professional wrestling, the land of misfit toys. Some companies wouldn't give us a chance, and CZW is where we are, and we are proving people wrong every month. And this is the biggest show of the year, this Saturday night, 7:30, Voorhees, New Jersey. Cage of Death 16. This is our WrestleMania, and we're going to go out there and we are going to do what we do.
Like he said, Cage of Death, big show coming up on Saturday, December the 13th. If you are in the area, please check it out if you got your tickets. And for those who are unable to attend, you can check it out on oddpayperview.com. Go to the website, go to Combat Zone Wrestling's website for all the details. My last question coming from my cousin Dexter in the chat room, and he wants to know about your finishing maneuver.
My finishing maneuver, I have a few signature things that I do. One of my favorite signature things to do is it's been dubbed the Rick Roll Cannonball in the corner. It's where I just fling my fat ass at somebody who's in a seated position in the corner. My finishing maneuver is Tiger Driver 98, the double underhook pile driver, and with the exception of Jay Briscoe, I think I do it better than anybody on the planet.
There you have it, man. Well, Craig, I want to thank you for joining me this evening, and continue success and good luck on your match this Saturday evening. And again, thank you for your time, and happy holidays to you.
Same to you. Appreciate it. Talk to you soon.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That was Craig Excellent joining me here on Triple Threat Wrestling Radio. And I notice my next guest is joining me in the chat room right now.